Hey guys, Adam Maggio here. Hope all is well. Anyway, I just wanted to shoot a quick video to explain a couple things that I've had explained to me throughout my life that have kind of helped me out a little bit. And the first thing I want to talk about is time versus money. See, a lot of people wonder, why can't I seem to get ahead, and yet they just don't understand the basic principles of time and money. And one of the things I need you to understand right off the bat is you've never, ever, ever, ever have heard of a rich employee. And there's a lot of reasons why. But the number one, the primary reason why an employee has find it very hard to get ahead is they try to trade time for money. And ultimately all that means is they work an hour, and whether they're making, I don't know, $13 an hour, or $30 an hour, even $300 an hour, they're only getting paid when they're actually putting in the hour. Whether you're getting paid a salary or whether you're getting paid a hourly rate, the bottom line is you're giving up 1 hour of your life for a dollar amount. So here's the problem with that. Problem number one is that you usually spend what you make. I mean, let's face it, if you're like 99% of the people out there, you're always going to spend what you make, okay? So the thing is, how do I get ahead? Most people try to get ahead in that market by working longer. That's why people ask for overtime, right? Simply, overtime means I need to catch up on bills. And here's where the struggle becomes. When you work overtime, it gets stressful, your family sees you less, and you know what? It's just not fun. But at the end of the day, what do you do when the overtime is now needed and either A, the boss pulls it away, or B, you figure out that, hey, you know what? I'm worth more money. You go in and you ask for a raise. And asking for a raise in theory sounds good. The only problem when you ask for a raise is you're worth it, but you're not worth it to your boss. Because what happens is you're only worth what it costs to replace you. All right. We actually drive down the cost of labor. When we do these job fairs, if the company that's hiring is looking for someone for $40,000 a year and someone's willing to do that for $38,000 a year, often, if that, with all things being equal, they're going to take that person that's willing to work for less money. Right. So what people and in all different fields that usually get ahead quicker, they don't necessarily trade time for money. What they do is they invest an hour and they continue to get paid on that hour forever. Okay. It's common in the insurance industry. When an insurance policy is sold, every month someone pays a premium. Well, the rep that actually sold the policy, every single time that premium gets paid, the rep gets a small chunk of money. Okay, it's called renewals or residuals. It's very common with movie stars. It's very common with musicians. When they go out and they do their concerts, they're not necessarily making a ton of money at the concert. They're doing it to promote album sales, back in the day, obviously, CD sales, back in the day, obviously, or more recently now, things like iTunes downloads. So what they're doing is they're actually leveraging their time. And there's very few industries that you can leverage your time. But at the end of the day, okay, the reason why employees don't get ahead is because they're trading time for money. The reason why the boss gets ahead is because he's leveraging his employees' time, okay? If the boss is paying you $20 an hour, you rest assured off your labor, that boss is making $40 an hour. Now, the numbers could vary depending on what industry you're at, but at the end of the day, that's why you see people get ahead. It's purely because of that leverage. So knowing this right now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't know how to create money. You're probably just in the wrong vehicle. The other thing is tax brackets, okay? Typically, most people are in a W-2 tax bracket, which means that say you make $1,000 a week, right? You don't take home $1,000 a week. What happens is you get taxed on the money and then you take home the difference. And just rough numbers, if you made $1,000, you're roughly taking home $700. As a 1099, as a business owner, okay, not only are you going to be able to take that $1,000 and legitimately deduct the costs, right, off of it, you only pay tax on the difference, which in all reality means that you're going to have more take-home pay. A lot of people don't get it. Maybe you haven't read a book yet or anything like that. You'll see a lot of popular people out there like Robert Kiyosaki with Rich Dad and Poor Dad talking about that tiny little adjustment and being in a different tax bracket will make a lot of the difference. It's, for instance, like a broke doctor. You've all heard of a broke doctor, right? Well, it's not because the doctor's making $120,000 a year that they're broke. They're in a 40% tax tax bracket, which means that they don't even see 40% of it. However, that same doctor that owns the practice, that's a 1099, if they made the same amount of money, they're going to have more take-home pay. So you see, there's really two important parts to helping start the creation of wealth, I guess you'd say. One is to find industries in which you can leverage your time, okay? And one is to get into that other tax bracket so you can legitimately deduct your expenses and pay taxes on the difference. And I got to tell you, I've been doing it for the last 12 years at this point, offline, and there's a lot of things right now that are very intriguing online. So, but until then, we'll talk about it a little bit more. But until then, thank you very much and have a good day.